Look, man.
Where?
Oh, I see.
Wow.
Oh, my. Bowen, look over there.
Wow, is that
culture?
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Las Culturistas.
Ding dong, Las Culturistas calling.
I don't know that I've been more excited.
And this is the thing. We're already getting along, I'd say, gangbusters with our guest.
Love.
I can't believe she's here either.
No, okay,
It's
so
like staring at the sun. I can't. It's hello sunshine. I can't look at the guest.
I want to say Hello Sunshine is their frontrunner for title event, but we can't do that.
No.
We're going to find it. Do you remember yesterday when we were talking about iconic line reads of our guest?
Yes, but that's every day.
On most days.
Yeah.
So on the red carpet at the Culture Awards, someone asked us, like, what's an iconic line from cinema history that, like, jumps out right now? Who was it? Was it Mark Malkin that asked that?
No, it was Vulture.
It was Vulture.
Yeah.
And I go, what? Like, it's hard? But
And yesterday, I said to you, this is what pings and pongs in my brain for anytime I open mail.
Yeah.
Anytime I open mail. This is what. You ready? This is it. Bruiser, what's this?
Bruiser, what's this?
Bruiser,
really
what's
good.
this?
But
Anytime I open an envelope, I'm telling you.
the reason I bring it up is because I actually know what it is.
Okay.
This was maybe the culture that made me say culture was
Here
for
we
me, which is
go.
a big statement on this podcast, that being the central question. Pleasantville.
Oh,
Our
here we go.
guest's first scene. She's on the phone talking to her friend, and she's talking about what outfit she's going to wear for a date. And she's discussing wearing one particular thing. And she goes, it's not slutty. And she looks in the mirror and she goes, it's fun. I saw myself in
You
it.
just channeled. You just channeled the muse.
I channel constantly. I'm always channeling our guests constantly.
It's true.
Our favorite show is back.
Our favorite show is back. Thank the Lord. We got the screeners. We watched episode 1, and then Matt Rodgers steps away and goes, How many
did they send? I just ask offhand.
I said the whole season. I've never seen you happier.
I think I did a backflip. I think I did a Tom Daly off a surfboard.
Gymnastically moved the furniture in the hotel room that we were staying at.
That is a thing I do when I get nervous. I move
You
furniture.
move furniture.
I was interior designing the hotel.
The hotel. Morning Show Season 4 is now out. Now that this episode is out, September 17th, the same day as the new incredible season of The Morning Show.
It's giving everything you've wanted it to give, and I have so many questions for our guests about the rip from the headlines nature of it, because they can't possibly have guessed one thing that happened in season 3 that then happened in life. But suffice it to say that our guest today is an Oscar-winning actress, an Emmy-winning producer, a bona fide pop culture icon, on the list of the iconic 400 twice as herself and as a character.
Yes.
Which that doesn't really happen.
No.
This is such a great moment in Las Cultch history because our guest is Reese Witherspoon.
Oh my God!
We love you.
Blushing. That was so nice. I'm so excited to be here.
We're so happy to be here. Oh, wait, no, this was the moment where the wheels started turning about this moment happening.
Yes.
It was 2 Emmys ago or 1 Emmy ago? I think.
That I like beelined for you at an award show, and I was like, Bowen, when am I on your podcast? Like, how did you even do it without me?
Yeah.
Rude.
Exactly. But
So rude.
The way you approached me. Do you remember what your initial line was?
Uh-uh.
It was the most Reese thing.
What?
And I immediately texted this one
I
afterwards.
couldn't believe it.
We go in for a hug. You whisper in my ear, well, hello, Miss Culturista. I died.
Because that was too much. That was the moment I knew the podcast had gotten out of hand.
That's when we fell in love.
That's when we fell in love.
He did. I think you FaceTimed me. You were like,
Oh,
"You're
yeah.
not, the phone is shaking."
The
I'm
phone
like,
was
"Who is
trembling.
it?" I was like, "Don't tell me it was Reese."
No, like it was like you had a party and you didn't invite me.
You're so
It was
right.
so rude.
We're
You're
so
so
No, but no,
invited.
I'm so happy. It only took like 14 publicists later, and we're here.
Truly.
I know.
2 short years.
Two short years later.
And 1,800 emails.
That's how
That
it
does.
happens.
It really does feel
They
like
really slow the wheels of progress.
Well,
All
the
these
digital age.
are people.
Yeah, I know.
We're
I know.
people. No, we
Because
love
you
them.
did. Because the biggest gag was you were like, DM me, and I was like, I guess you could just DM her.
You can. Well,
you can, but you can't.
Not everyone.
Not everyone.
yeah.
But then you were with Deacon
Don't
at that
bother.
MoMA show, at that MoMA event. I met
Yes.
Deacon, and he was so sweet.
My son is the cutest. I told him I was coming on your podcast. He goes, Mom, come on. That's
No
going to be so
way.
fun. He goes, tell me what the building looks like and what the studio looks like.
Really? Is he into buildings and
He's into buildings
studios?
and studios?
He's into you guys like pop culture, and he loves the way that you set. I said they're tastemakers. Of course, you love that.
Oh my gosh, that is too. I mean,
Very sweet.
Well, just to talk about that, I will say, in thinking about like this episode with you, I really can go back to one of them. I think first really formative memories I have of going to the movies with my mom and my sister. We sat down. I remember where we sat in the theater. It was like on Patchogue, like on Long Island.
Patchogue.
And we went to go see Legally Blonde. And it was one of those things where I'm sure you have this. Like you see the movie once and you know every line. Like it's just one of those things.
Those kind of movies just are sticky.
Yeah.
Sticky.
Yeah. Did you? You're playing Elle Woods. Like you're doing this character. You're on set. You know that everyone there is great. But are you thinking like, what are you thinking doing it? Like is this?
Okay, well, let me get my time machine because it was 25 years ago.
And that also has to be kind of surreal.
It was so surreal. Well, I was a new mom. I had a little baby. And I had my daughter on set. And I just remember I took comedy really seriously. Like, it was not a joke.
Right.
I had studied Goldie Hawn like my life depended on it for
Yeah.
that role. I studied her in Private Benjamin.
Yes.
And then I studied comedy like you would try and cure a rare disease.
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
so
Yes.
important to me. I watched SNL religiously. And so for me, creating a character, like I had just done it the year before maybe 2 years before with Tracy Flick. It was really important to me that she had a very particular way she talked, a very particular way she walked, that she had. My early career was a lot about building characters who didn't have a lot of self-awareness. They just were like a bullet through the world, determined to make their mark and determined to reach that goal.
Yeah.
So that's what it was like. And we had our, I think, 20th year reunion of Legally Blonde, and all the lovely cast members were there, and we all got on a Zoom, from Jennifer Coolidge to Luke Wilson and Selma Blair, and they were all like, it was like kind of fun.
But it's hard to remember because it was like a job at the time.
I
You were all
was really
doing it.
serious. Like I was a very, very, very serious young person.
You have to be. I mean, it all translates to the final product. But like, this is why like people come to SNL, as you know, and like you expect it to be like riffing and like everyone's just improvising and just the chemistry is off the charts. We're there to like turn the page and read the script and like hit our marks. It's technical.
And also in your brain, aren't you thinking, I got to think of something that no one else is thinking of?
Totally.
So my thing was always, how can I be contrary? How can I
Yeah.
play this how no one else would play this?
Totally.
Because that's what I'm here to be, original, not be basic. And there were 100 ways to play Elle Woods that I was like, seen it, done it, not doing that.
Of course.
So if you thought she was going to be bitchy or spoiled rotten, no, she had a really soft center.
Yeah, very
If you
sweet.
thought she was going to be dumb or say the wrong thing, she was going to say it laser sharp in really crisp words and
Yes.
say it with daggers in her eyes.
Yeah.
So I was always trying to startle people with the switch.
Right.
Yes.
know?
But it's interesting that you bring up Tracy in the context of Tracy and Elle and that early stuff. Like, I would say there's a common thread there where it's like underestimation. People
Yeah.
underestimate them. And like, what is that relationship to ambition? Like, does one breed the other? Do you need the other thing for it to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think ambition threads through all my characters because I don't know. I just wasn't here to do average. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. I wanted to be, it's not like I wanted to be the best, but I wanted to be original. I wanted to be wholly original in this world. And I wanted to show people, I wanted to make them laugh harder. I wanted them to cry. I wanted them to think they understood the smartest girl in school, but she was actually a little broken inside. It's beautiful, you know? I actually modeled Tracy on a girl I went to high school with, and I didn't know a lot about her personal life. But it was really important to me as Alexander Payne and I were building that character. I was like, she needs to have a moment with her mother where you realize her mom's a single mom and she like curls her hair every day and she's living out her mother's broken dreams.
Right.
And there's one scene, but it cracks the whole thing for you. You're like, I can't make fun of this person.
Sure.
You're right.
But you and Alex built that together, like that scene.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. He's incredible about understanding the day-to-day lives, the satire of living in middle America, but also having big dreams. But maybe your dreams are just to go to Northwestern,
Right.
or like run for city council.
Sure.
Yeah. It was so fun. It was
I
really
have
fun.
read the sequel.
You have?
Yes. So,
Oh, so you
because
know,
I'm a
yeah.
huge Election fan. Like, in
Yeah.
fact, we ran into Matthew Broderick actually at SNL 50.
Yes.
And we ended up seeing him twice, and both times I said, I just watched Election. He was like, you told me. I was like, it's true, I did. Because I frequently return to it, and I watched it again after I read the novel. Is that in play right now? Is that something that's like, where is that on the list in terms of?
Well, let's. I mean,
Well, you don't want to say too much,
but there is a follow-up novel,
Yes.
and we're thinking about making a movie.
Because it goes in a really interesting direction, I think, for people that care about that character.
Yeah.
And it ends dark, and it's. I'm really interested to see how it
Tracks
keeps going,
in
because
time, yeah.
it's also a comment on the fact that when you're someone that's super ambitious, one of the things that can happen is you don't meet that ambition, and you then that is a really sad thing. And I think one of the toughest,
the smallest thing can derail you.
Oh,
yes,
And she gets derailed by something.
Yes.
But you can't stop the internal monster
no,
drive.
she can't help herself. And so basically, one of the things I think is the most heartbreaking about the first film, I'm already talking about it as if it's two. I guess I'm manifesting it. But in Election, which is the sudden, after she's lost, the cut to just how heartbroken and devastated that she is. And I think that's when you realize like how much work you've done. Like, she's this. And it's interesting to look back that she's sort of an antagonist of the movie because she's antagonizing Matthew Broderick. But when you look at it now and you think back and you look at how heartbroken she was and what she went through going up to that, it feels really ripe for revisiting.
I think so too, yeah. There was a whole, the New York Times, I think it was A.O. Scott or something about 10 years ago, went back and watched it again and said, wait.
Yeah, this
This
girl
is like
was
a
raped.
high school girl,
Yeah.
groomed and manipulated by her science teacher.
Right.
Yes.
That's not what I remember that movie being.
And then his peer got mad at her.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and Matthew Broderick's character, Mr. McAllister, was actually complicit.
Yeah,
Totally.
He knew his friend had groomed a teenager.
Yeah, sort of. Kind of,
And he was mad at her and just decided to destroy her.
And then she got a smoothie thrown at her at the end.
That's the best.
God damn it. Hate DC.
Hey, DC. That first shot of Tracy there shooting up her hand is like iconic cinema.
It's lasting.
It's lasting. That's a good shot. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what shot you're talking about.
You're, like when you first see Tracy, when she like shoots up her like
Oh, when
and
she
they
raises her hand in
freeze frame
class.
on your face being
Yes.
like a little
Yeah.
like distorted.
Yeah.
It's like it's meant to humiliate this child.
And do you know what the question is? Who knows the difference between ethics and morals?
Love it.
Wow.
The irony. The irony.
I love it.
The irony.
No, it's an amazing script.
It
It's
is.
incredible. And you're a part of so many of those. And
Oh,
and,
thank you.
and that has to be like the impact that you had like in the kind of not the beginning of your career, but after it had been going for 5-6 years, it felt like you had like these real, not even just like successes in pop culture, but also like critical hits. So it's like there's Pleasantville, which I think is so many people's favorite movie. It's one of mine. And there's obviously Legally Blonde. There's Cruel Intentions. So I would imagine that like as you're going forward in your career, does your team like at that point, are they just like, let's just keep you busy? Or are you when you look back at that point, were you always someone who was like trying to pick and choose what the next move was?
It was always very strategic. And it was
Really?
me and my manager, Evelyn O'Neill. And that was it. It was just her and I.
And then what was the planning? Like what was the initial conversation behind let's do this Hello Sunshine thing. Let's actually
That
make
was
the taste.
okay. That was a different iteration of my life. So Evelyn and I, that was my early career, and then I decided to kind of go my own way when I was 34, and the business had shifted a lot. So I don't want to get into the nitty gritty, but the DVD business left,
Right.
and so all the development of films about women were kind of the mid-range budget, and that's where it just went away. So they weren't developing things for women. So I thought, okay, if I don't take this moment to start developing for myself and for my friends who
Right.
are incredible, nobody, like, shame on me, first of all,
Wow.
for being so successful and then not doing something about the lack of storytelling for women. So it was a moment where I had to meet the moment, and I was really scared.
Yeah.
But because also, truthfully, that ambition thing is not always appealing to everybody, you know?
Right.
Like,
Of course not.
Well, that's why a lot of, I think, the characters are people blanch at them at first.
They
and then
do.
They learn to love them because they learn to
Yeah.
understand them. And but you're right. It is.
well, and it's like for all our ambitious listeners out there, sometimes you rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
And people know that. And you know it. And every ambitious friend of yours knows they can be it's irritating to feel that, like, come on, let's do more. Let's do this. And we can do it. And let's throw the homecoming all together, you know?
Sure.
And then let's do the class project. I'll take over everything. It's an annoying character trait.
But then what's the way out? Like, not that there's
the
a
way out for me, and it was learning to not be embarrassed of it. Making peace with it and going, I know I work harder. It's just how I'm made up, and it's not my fault.
Yeah.
And how can I use that to harness more people and rope them into things that I think will be beneficial for them, instead of just serving my own agenda, which was making my own career. I thought when Hell Sunshine began, I was like, oh my God, this is my opportunity to widen the net, bring people into a family of storytellers. And that's when my whole life changed.
Yeah, I mean, truly, I think that there was, like, it did feel like there was this, like, incredible second phase for you, which started with producing Gone Girl and then being in Wild. And I've always wanted to ask you about Gone Girl because that was was that the first big title that you had produced, or
Yeah, that was the first book I ever optioned as
what
a producer.
jackpot that is?
It was crazy. We read it in galleys. We read Wild. I read Wild and Gone Girl in galleys. My producing partner was Bruna Papandrea, and we were both like, these books are amazing. But
yeah.
I had no idea they were going to be, within
Explosive,
6 months, they were number one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sitting next to each other on the New York Times for months and months and months. And I was like,
The books,
oh,
yeah.
shit. I
Right.
can't mess this up.
No.
I think that was the perfect 1-2 punch for you. For one to not be a vanity project and for one to be a vehicle for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
like
hear you.
that, because that is what I think you innovated and established, Jon. It's like, I'm gonna be a woman actress, whatever. Like, and I'm going to start my own production company, and it will be holistic in that way. I think it could have gone. It might not have been sticky, if we're going to use that word. Like it would not have stuck if it had been one thing.
I agree. And they were both substantive, right? They were about what we perceive women as, how they subvert that. Gone Girl is the ultimate, like, mind turning.
So yummy.
And
Yeah.
Fincher just killed it. And Rosamund Pike
Unbelievable.
is so diabolical. And Ben Affleck is sort of the rube on the other side of it, receiving
Sick
it.
supporting cast too.
Yes.
Carrie Coon.
I mean,
Carrie!
Yeah, no, don't forget. And also our friend Casey Wilson.
so good.
That was one of those.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, again against type. Like
Against type.
playing with a lot of against type stuff. And I did want to ask you about that particular role, though, because I had read, I think a lot of people that, you know, follow this stuff, that you had been attached to do Gone Girl, and then after a conversation with David, you guys decided that maybe the audience would have had a gauge on you already, or like, what was that conversation? How did you feel about it at the time?
Well, yes, I had optioned it to star in it, and I
Yeah.
was supposed to star in it. There'll be a whole chapter of a book one day about
Yeah.
Gone Girl, because that started my producing career, but it also told me, hey, nobody's happy for you to have this producing career. Nobody wants you here.
Wow.
And David sat me down, and this is not on David, but David's like, you're totally wrong for this part, and I'm not putting you in it. So that was...
At first, and you're
why?
probably like, hold on a second.
Well, because I'd had all these conversations with the writer, Gillian Flynn, and she was like, no, I'd really like you to do it. But he was like, you're wrong. And that was, first of all, an ego check for me. I was like, no, you're not right for everything.
Wow.
And he was right. He was totally right.
But why was he right? Like, how did he rationalize that to you? In a way
He
that
didn't
it
have
did?
to. He's David Fincher. He's like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
he literally says it this, he's like, you're wrong for this part, and I'm not putting you in it.
But I'm asking, like, was he like, did you get an inkling of like, oh, because people will project onto me all of their preconceived notions about me as an actor?
I think that was probably for him. Yes, I
Okay.
brought an audience with me
Sure.
that likes me.
Yeah,
and wants me to win.
Yes, I remember thinking, 'cause we've talked about this topic
So
on
I'm
the
not
show.
sinister or diabolical.
Sure. No,
But
exactly.
Isn't
But
that
it's-
the thing that would have been the surprise,
Exactly.
though? Like, not to go back in history and fight with David Fincher in my own head, because the movie is perfect.
No,
and
and
so
Rosamund
good.
is perfect.
She's
Rosamund's
great, and I mean,
perfect.
it also started a whole other type of career for her too, which
I
is like
agree.
a testament to the
impact
producing
of
of
the
that
movie,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's important. Producing also means get out of the way when you're supposed
Yeah.
to. You know, get out of the way, do your job to promote, continue to pull people together, continue to build creative groups so that the ultimate result is the best
Yeah.
work that it could possibly be.
Yeah.
So that was a lesson to me, but behind the scenes, a lot of stuff happened that was not cool
Yeah.
in terms of like my credits and da-da-da,
Sure.
which is so boring.
No.
But it took me till Big Little Lies. So Big Little Lies was like a year later, and Nicole and I produced that together, till people started taking me seriously as a producer. Because honestly, could not get traction even as a producer, even with those hits.
With those
and 3
two big
Oscar
hits.
nominations.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really hard.
That's wild. It's wild, no pun intended, but especially because I feel like Wild in particular, not only did the whole story, the whole narrative was like this was a film that she produced alongside Gone Girl, but that performance is just like
Incredible.
It is a 360, and it was so different from what you had done. I would imagine that felt incredibly vulnerable. And alongside the statement of I'm producing this,
Yeah.
was that the moment, if you look back, that or one of the moments where you felt like this is a watershed thing? Like that had to be a high anxiety moment.
Yeah. Oh my God, so much anxiety. But doing Wild was a reset for my whole life, my whole career, which was great for me. I
Yeah.
had to work physically. I couldn't talk. You know,
Right.
my superpower is talking really fast.
It was mostly backpack.
Yeah,
It was back like the monster.
It was all contemplating the earth, and
Yeah.
it's hard.
But the realism of that movie is kind of the sort of corollary to like everything you had done up to that point. Also, you let out one of the great screams.
Yeah, the foot. I'll never forget the foot.
and I threw my
Incredible.
shoe.
Yes.
Yeah, both
Damn
shoes.
That was
One of the best
that-
opening scenes in movies. I
So
think.
good. Did you end up watching it on the plane last
did.
night?
I
Okay.
did.
Aw.
I was like, you know what?
I'm so glad
Reese is
you
coming
did.
out and watching.
You're the
I'm watching
best.
Wild.
It's
You're
not
the
a hardship
best.
to watch your
on.
movies.
Yeah, I twist my arm. I gotta watch Reese
That was
Witherspoon.
intense, though. That's
Yeah,
intense.
that is an intense. It's an intense one, and
Yeah.
of course there's that. Oh God, the heartbreaking scene where you discover that your mother has passed and that you weren't
Yes.
there, and that
Yeah.
great Laura Dern performance.
Can we just talk about Laura Dern? For
Yeah,
a
We
let's
actually,
talk about Laura
that
Dern.
actually was
I
kind
can't.
of where I was going. So was that the start? Were you friends with Laura before that, or
No, we met on that movie.
Great.
so you met on that movie because it does kind
And
of
she
feel
was
like,
doing her death scene.
Oh,
and I
was
was
that
like-
the
That was
first
day one?
one?
Day one. She's dead. I walk in. I'm like, she was like, I'm going through a divorce. I was like, just been through one.
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
So then there
friendship.
And
there
friendship
begins
begins.
that
Life.
friendship, and it does feel like you guys are like sisters.
Oh my gosh, we are so connected, and we laugh all morning, all night. I just FaceTimed her this morning. I was like, I'm going on Las Culturistas.
Oh my
She's
God.
Oh my God. I
She's
was
like,
like,
what's that?
no.
I just
I
met her
have to, I
actually
have
on
to.
Tom Royale, so it was like
that-
it was like it was a 2-second thing, but I was just like I didn't get time with her, but I was like, God, she similar to you. It's like she will always have that other place in your mind where it's like, I once saw you on a screen and you changed my life, and here you are
Totally.
walking around and
Yeah.
really producing the show that the Palm Royale show, like really there on her day off, there in the nuts and bolts, and it's really amazing to see because you guys bring perspective
Yeah.
that is not usually there.
She's just so encyclopedic about her understanding of film, television, performance, how movies come together. She's a savant.
Yeah.
And she's also lovely and kind and humble. And
Yeah.
but she can eviscerate you in a scene, and you're just like, oh, this
Yes,
is
she
so
can.
good. Some of my favorite stuff I've ever done my whole life was scenes between Madeline and Renata on Big Little Lies.
I'll never.
I mean, forget. I
You
could
guys
just be
sitting
done.
at
I
the
could just be
fire
done.
pit,
Oh my God.
letting it rip at each
She's
other.
like, you better not cancel my daughter's birthday. And I was like, I'm going to Disney on Ice instead.
we
Disney
got
on Ice and Avenue Q being like these tentpole plot points.
The best.
Totally.
In that show.
I mean, I will also say, like,
Cute, the puppets.
the puppets.
That show.
Yes.
Perfection.
It was no, it really and talk about yet again, like just watching everything about it. I mean, just the shots of the crashing waves, etc. White Lotus, we see you. We know where you got that from.
We know where you
Listen.
got that from.
But that's
Listen.
that you have to feel like that probably opened so much up in TV then.
It was that was a watershed, I think.
Yeah,
For
again.
not just for you, but for television.
Yeah, but I think because a group of that esteemed level actresses doing a TV show was unheard of. Also, just like Nicole, myself, and Laura, and Zoe Kravitz, and Shailene Woodley, like all in our friendship. You heard more about our friendships than you heard about our work or what's going on with our kids. Like, who cares? We were best friends.
It was so
angry at
powerfully
each other.
Angry at
felt
each other.
through the screen.
But
though.
it was, it was just the inner workings of female relationships. And I think the really beautiful thing about Big Little Lies is it's actually an entire show about domestic violence.
Yeah.
And it had this emotional resonance where you think it's this frothy thing, right? But it's actually something very, very real that happens to 1 in 3 women.
Yes.
And so you could laugh about it, right? It's funny. I tend to my grudges like little pets,
Yeah, like
you know?
Yes.
And scenes with me and Laura, amazing.
Yeah.
We're in a totally different show than Nicole Kidman
Right.
and Alexander Skarsgård.
Absolutely.
And it all comes together at the very end. You're like, holy shit.
Well, I think one of the really powerful things was the dichotomy of like there are these women arguing about this play, and literally blocks over there's this thing happening, and so yes, there are
to
two
our best
different
friend who
shows,
doesn't tell us.
but it is in one reality, and it is also the reality, which is that these things are happening, and the shock with which you guys receive that information, but the immediate way to protect and act, I think was so powerful. And certainly all our female friends that we talked to were just like so empowered and emboldened by the fact that like we will have each other's backs.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what that show was about.
And we'll also have joy. And we'll
Yeah.
also have laughter. And we'll also be petty. And then we'll make up for it.
And we'll still get into it
And
afterwards.
we'll still get into it. And we're going to have this great life together. But
Truly.
Yeah.
I feel like that combination of the frothiness with the weight of something is to transition into morning show is the thing that we love about morning show. We've made a lot of light about like the campiness of it, obviously.
We love
right?
it.
But
so good.
But especially watching this season, I go, you need the campiness,
I think
the
you do.
ridiculous. You need Bradley Jackson going to space.
I know.
In order to talk about these things that even TV now doesn't want to tackle, like the pandemic, like the fucking insurrection, like all of these really fucked up things about the world. You know, like I think. Was that like the vision for the show the whole time? Because it also mimics the dichotomy between morning news shows, which we've had experience on now, where it's like, okay, we're going to talk about a war going on in some place at any given time, and we're
After
also going
this,
to do
how do you fold a handkerchief? We're gonna find out.
the best way is
Like-
to use a
To the brain.
plunger. It's like
It's so good.
that's the
It's like
dichotomy.
whiplash.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yep.
But that's life now. So I think you're right. And you call it campy and soapy, but for me, it's like, where's the human experience,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if you're talking about really earnest subject matter, you have to lighten it up.
100%.
You have to be having like the two, the news producer and the on-air athlete talking about like, why were you late at work today?
Right.
You know, that's
loved that scene, by the way, between oh my god,
between Karen Pittman and
Karen-
Nicole Bahari.
Karen
Oh my
is.
God.
I mean, like she's so special.
I know.
Like we are
Isn't she great?
Karen Pittman super stans, and she's also one of the most stunning individuals on planet Earth.
I know.
And like Helen of Troy. you
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
You
By
guys
the
Helen
way,
of Troy.
y'all, We both grew up in Nashville.
Really?
Throw a rock. She went to the one girl's school. I went to the other girl's school, and same age, exact same age, coming up together.
Wow.
And we finally met on the first season of Morning Show. So we're Nashville girls, and
Oh, I love
it's just
that.
great. I so celebrate all her wins, and she was on And Just Like That
Yes.
too,
Yeah.
and she's just killing it.
She definitely is. I feel like the thing too about the morning show that like I was referencing earlier was when you did go to space, and then a matter of 10, 11 months later, we see the Blue Origin.
Yes.
What did that feel like? Because
They're just forecasters, these writers.
It's Simpsons level. They predict it.
It's odd.
Yeah.
It's odd because at the end of season 1, in the very last scene, Alex Levy has a meltdown on camera, and she's like, "Screw this bullshit!" And I'm talking about right before she says it, I'm like, "And there's a mysterious illness on a cruise ship off the coast of China."
Yeah.
And then, literally within 6 months, it was COVID.
That episode aired before COVID.
I know.
Crazy.
I don't know. There's some weird woo-woo stuff happening on
Yeah,
the
See, that's
show.
why I'm like, so they sent us the whole
weird.
season of the show of the new season, and we freaked. But now I'm like, oh gosh, what's it gonna portend at the end of this
Right,
season that's
right.
gonna befall us?
I don't know. Well,
Well, you
I
do know, actually.
I do know.
But I just love.
I hope it's not true, though.
I love the tone of the show. Like
Oh,
it's just,
thanks.
it's so fun. It's so enriching. Every character is like rich now in the 4th season, and even the new entrances, like Marion Cotillard, is just so
Yes.
perfect in this. And when I heard
Right.
that she was cast, I'm like, what is that gonna feel like? And she comes in and she just brings all her Marion-ness to it, and
Right.
it does feel. She feels impenetrable and untouchable, and very.
Well, and her
imperious.
family owns the entire network now,
Right.
Along with a lot of other assets, and some are sort of maybe a little
Mysterious,
dubious.
unsavory.
That comes around, yeah. That she's sort of the queen of this empire's family empire, and that they're doing some shady stuff,
Yeah.
and she's doing shady stuff all over the. Don't get me started about episode 8.
Episode 8.
Maybe it's 9.
Maybe it's 9. See, a penultimate episode.
Just wait.
That's where the real shit goes down.
You'll be mad.
Yeah. We'll be
Celine.
mad.
It's Celine?
It's Celine. And I said that her name was Celine. I was like, that's just perfect.
Of course it is.
How did you feel when? Did you name Bradley Jackson? Who named Bradley Jackson?
No, our original writer, Carrie Aaron, wrote
Love.
Bradley Jackson.
Bradley Jackson.
We just
That's
love that
it's
name.
It feels
unforgettable.
very newscastery.
Yeah.
Totally. But newscaster
Bradley.
out of like a rural like network who is then spotlit on national television.
Yes.
Goes back. It's like it works both ways.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true. And ambitious.
And ambitious.
Are
We
you-
sense
are
a
you-
thread.
We clearly do. Are you a news junkie, or did you feel? Have you always been? Are you now?
No, but I like to read very specific things about technology. I'm really interested in technology.
Yeah.
Biomedical innovation is really interesting to me, and marketing is really interesting to me. Like, how do figuring out what consumers like? I love it,
Yeah.
and why.
And why?
Right.
Culture.
Culture.
What do you?
How does it move markets? Like Taylor Swift moving
Yep.
markets in cities. When her production comes there and economies grow, let's talk about that.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting to me. Why do people like certain people and really can't stand others?
Yeah.
Is it better for for you to be controversial, or no one cares about you?
Is the Q
Do you know what I'm
rating a
saying?
real
Totally,
thing?
totally.
Yeah.
It is.
Is the what rating?
The Q rating.
Q
Like
rating.
when
Q
they
rating.
run diagnostics.
We can
on
run it
here.
on you guys.
I'd be
Oh,
scared.
Don't run the Q rating.
Don't run the
Q
Q
rating
rating
is
on
like
us. Or maybe do.
Maybe do. Wait.
You might want it.
Okay.
You might
I'm-
want.
I'm-
You
I'm
might want that
scared.
No,
data.
his is 150.
No
do you
way.
do you guys like data? Do you like
I do.
knowing
I
that
love
kind of stuff?
data.
Love it.
But the right. I mean, there are some little flames that I don't want to touch. You know what I mean? You wanna-
I find it really fascinating.
Like I don't want an aura ring. Like who am I going to do with that
No.
crap?
Bing.
So you're not woo.
Listen.
You're not woo woo.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
What's it giving today?
My resiliency score is down to adequate because we were on a red eye.
My resiliency
Where's your grit?
score.
My grit. I gotta get my grit score up. I mean, my sleep score. Listen, she tracks the naps with eerie precision.
But what are you doing with this information? Like, does it make you feel better?
How will you become more resilient?
It gives me knowledge that I've trended downward, right? So I
Okay.
really gotta. Okay, let me be more intentional about my sleep. Let me be more intentional about my like working out in the morning, let me be more intentional about time to read, which I want to ask you about. Like, it does give some shape to the outlook of the day.
Okay.
It gives you a readiness score based on your sleep, based on your activity the day before.
Okay, but if something woke you up in the morning and said, "You're so tired. You look really tired. Are you tired? You didn't sleep. God, why? Are you like tired?"
Well, ChatGPT is going to
just
start
an
doing
FYI,
that.
I have data about it.
Data
And
about
you
how tired you are.
100 tired.
And you
Yeah.
look at
And how are you going to feel for the rest of the day?
Yeah, probably
I
not
am
good.
so susceptible. It will tell me how to feel.
well,
I'll be like,
oh, totally.
I didn't sleep. I don't have a crown.
I think I don't have a crown. No, they give you a crown on the score if you do
Come
well.
on
I don't
now.
even know that.
That is
I
just
have
like
to stay away
human
from this.
behavior 101. They're trying
Sure.
to like
You know, like engineer
manipulate
it.
you.
Well,
But
And
the-
you're letting them.
But the tone is actually quite gentle. Like, should I read the
Yes,
readiness score
please,
today?
please.
It's actually quite. It doesn't.
And then I'd like to know your
chastise you.
saltiness, your sassiness.
Your saltiness.
There-
your
there's a
willingness to
metric
deal with
for
shit.
saltiness?
Like
There should be.
How much
Okay.
crap can you handle today?
So it's like if you did like go on a bender the night before and you only got like whatever 3 hours of sleep, it goes. Maybe think about taking it easy. It's very gentle.
Okay, so it's nice.
need
So it's
sobriety.
nice. You need sobriety. No.
No, I'm
It's not
kidding.
saying that.
I wasn't
But
reading that.
It's loading it up right now. But like that's what it's never been like finger waggy. You're not
okay.
doing so
while
good.
this loads up,
I think it's also how you hear it,
yeah, it's true.
how you take criticism. I just window into me. Don't take it well.
Well, I was going to ask
Oh,
you that.
never.
Like, as someone who's like a metrics
getting
person, but also a sensitive person as a result of like what you do, I've always been like interested in this. People that are very producerial and people that are real. You know, you're a business person, and so, but you're also an actor, and so you maintain a lot of like openness, vulnerability, sensitivity in order to do what you do. How do you balance those two things as someone who's like out there publicly as a product in a way that we all are, but also someone who markets that product? Like how do you walk that line and maintain a sanity?
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good question. It has different levels to it too, because when I'm in work mode, it's a full different personality, and that's
Yeah.
where I've kind of been for a while now. The acting, I have to switch on. I have to kind of tune out what's happening in the business,
Yeah.
and then. But I knew if I didn't tune in to the business and kind of level up, I wasn't going to make change.
You may get, or you may get lost.
I would get lost, but I also just think not enough of it. Like, I wasn't an executive, but I had to become an executive over the past
Right.
9 years. And I don't enjoy it per se, but it's important if I want to affect change and actually create a company that has enterprise value in a market and see where the ball is going in terms of media. So I have to pay attention to all of that.
Yeah.
Well, so outside of those things, it's like I think with Hello Sunshine, you've like created the trend of actor starts production company. Great, but what you've always avoided, which is what's common, is that an actor starts a production company as a way to be a boom to the changing tides of showbiz. I don't think that's ever been true for you. Maybe in the beginning when you were having to like prove yourself, quote unquote. But now I feel like with the pipeline of the book club, you have this way to create taste. You are a tastemaker more than we are, to be sure. So like, what is the difference between like how do you like changing that dial has to be a very intentional, very difficult thing.
Well, I think taking some of the intense spotlight I had as a very young person, and I learned a lot about marketing through sitting about meetings, people talking about me like I was a product. And they were like, well, it plays well in Russia and Brazil, but it doesn't play well in Japan. And I was like, you're talking about me?
Yeah.
Why do they not? Okay, so I had to learn to depersonalize it.
Yeah. Why do they not like me in Japan?
Right, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, because they haven't met me.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
That is probably what you said. Well, I should go.
Yeah, I mean,
We gotta go.
I'll do a meet and greet.
book the flights. Let's go on the vacay. No, let me emphasize. But no, I started to learn about how audiences receive information, what
Yeah.
things trend this way and that way. So as I started thinking about a book club as a business enterprise, right? What were the advantages? First of all, being first to market on having read something ahead of time, and then going to those authors and saying, first, you did the hard work. You broke the back of the story. These characters are indelible. Can I help you promote it with this spotlight that I have that's all on me, but can I shine a little bit on you and help you out with some marketing stuff online?
Yeah.
And then also, if you feel inclined to give me the first right of the option, let me know. But there was never like, you have to give me an option on your book. So I wanted to clarify that, because that was a lot of people say, oh, she got the first right of refusal. I didn't. But people were so appreciative of the marketing. And then I also said, if you give me the rights, I'm not going to stick it in development hell.
No.
I'm going to work my ass off on it for 2 years. And if I can't get it made, I'm going to give it back to you, you know. But, and we had a great success rate from Little Fires Everywhere to, you know, Big Little Lies to Morning Show to Last Thing He Ever Told Me. And now we have a new one coming out with Anya Taylor-Joy called Lucky. And it's been great. Where the Crawdads Sing.
Yes. So is it that you're looking at projects and you think, oh, this is something I really want to do with Carrie. This would be fun to do with her.
Yes.
So we always joke this podcast started out as a way for us to have a play date once a week. And you're looking, you see these things and you're like, this is my play date with Carrie Washington.
For real. Yes. And I get to play with my favorite people. And, you know, what a gift.
Yeah, totally.
And also empower them. We all get to make something together and have a blast while we're doing it.
Yeah.
So it isn't, I don't mean to diminish it and say it's easy, because it's really hard work and long hours. And, but geez, it's like reaping the rewards of 30 years of hard work.
Yeah,
Truly.
totally.
And I get to, I love my job. I love it.
You can tell.
Clear.
I
It's
know,
so
I love
clear.
We love that you do
And I
your
love
job.
authors. I'm just such a nerd. I read constantly.
Well, I was going to ask, between reading about technology and biomedical
That's
stuff,
like an hour a day. I'll read that like while I drink coffee.
Yeah.
sum total of the day, how much of it is reading? Because this is what I want to kind of engineer in my own life. I'm like, I gotta fucking read books instead of scrolling on this.
I know.
I
this is
know.
so-
And I do think people are kind of getting off the phone and saying like, touch grass,
Yep.
read a book, hold paper.
Yep.
I read an hour at night. I
Love
read
it.
an hour in the morning and an hour at night, and then
Manageable.
I'm on a plane the whole plane ride.
Yeah.
So I can get through a lot on planes.
And how much can you ever stop yourself and just be like, Reese, I'm just gonna enjoy this book and stop thinking about
Yes,
the fact
but
that
it's
I'm
hard.
gonna like, yeah, right. You know what I mean?
I'm like, who should play this female lead?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, and you know who'd be amazing in this? Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Yes. As a female lead, definitely.
No.
no, I'm kidding.
His
I'm
next
kidding.
phase.
Kidding.
No,
But
yeah.
there's
No, I think in cinematic terms, so I'm always casting the movie in my mind.
Nothing
It's
wrong
fun.
with that.
it is so fun.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well,
You don't have to turn that off.
speaking of the mind, let's take an odyssey into it. We're gonna ask you the question that we ask everyone on our show, which is, what was the culture that made you say culture was for me, Reese Witherspoon?
Well, just like so many things came into my mind when we were talking.
I know, I bet.
I mean, when I thought about it, you know, when you first asked me, I was like, was it this? I mean, I remember when MTV started. That was a big deal in my childhood. And Jon Bon Jovi, or JBJ as I call him, came out with this music video called Living on a Prayer.
Yeah, come
And
on.
he wore
Little
these
song.
thigh-high red leather boots. And you would think, Reese Witherspoon's not like into guys with thigh-high red leather. Oh, yes, I was.
You were.
It was a moment. It was a moment, and I had a lot. There was all kind of feelings about that, and that to me was like MTV Movie Awards and Video Awards
Yeah.
were huge in my childhood.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a little town in Tennessee, and I was seeing people like talk about, you know, gender fluidity, whether they were talking about it or they were just exhibiting it.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
cool.
Doing it.
They were edgy, or like when Gwen Stefani came out with "I'm Just a Girl,"
Yeah, yeah.
and she had this ska song about how women are always sublimated and ignored and underestimated. I was like, that's my anthem.
Yeah.
But as you're sitting here, I was like, oh my God, I know what culture was for me. I remember going with a group of friends to the movies and seeing First Wives Club
Oh, here we go.
and seeing Diane Keaton,
Yeah.
Bette Midler, and Goldie Hawn do that dance.
At the end.
Well, yeah. And I was like, I think I was the only 11-year-old watching it like, that's revenge. You know, their
Yes.
unhappiness is
Joy.
their revenge.
Joy.
And they
Yeah.
express it through song and dance. And on a huge screen. And they
Yes.
sing, "You Don't Know Me."
Yeah.
You know? I was like, this is it. That's it.
No, that I think I used to rent that from Blockbuster all the time. Like, I can't believe my mom just wasn't like, "Oh,
let
my
you-
son's gay." Like, because it was like I was renting it from Blockbuster all the time and watching it, And I don't remember like the rest of it from that time, but that scene.
By the way, your Blockbuster strategy was culture. Like on Friday nights,
1,000%.
were you like the basics that like ran for the new hits, or were you like, I think I'm gonna go rent Blue Velvet? It's by David Lynch.
What I would do,
or the Winona Ryder Film Festival that I was always having.
Oh my God.
There was. I'll never forget walking down the aisle and I saw Batman Forever, and Nicole Kidman had her Veronica Lake hair, and I said, I know something about myself as a result of the way I'm reacting to this picture, and I took that movie. And one day when she sits in this seat, I will tell her that Dr. Chase Meridian.
Yes. Her hair
You know.
is seared into my consciousness.
Yes,
It's a core memory for me.
her like it's like a noirish scene where
It's
like
Jessica, it's
Val
Jessica
Kilmer-
Rabbit.
It's Jessica
Yes,
Rabbit.
it was.
Jessica Rabbit.
And
Absolutely.
she gathers up her like linens and she goes over to like the curtains blowing and then Batman comes and they're having this scene and I'm like, that might have been a little bit of an awakening for me, to be honest with you. That was my Blockbuster.
It's like
pull.
it's all coming back to me now. It's like women at a window with linens.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
white linens and a blowing in the breeze.
Yeah.
But that was my intro to Nicole.
But your Blockbuster strategy is your culture, because it would
Yes.
be like, are you gonna go to the wall with the new releases where it's like 20 copies of one thing,
Yeah.
or are you gonna slowly peruse the aisles? And I'm like 9 years old. I'm going, what's the Deer Hunter? Like not like like I
Now
have
you're in the
no
Criterion
idea.
class.
Not
I'm
in
like,
the Criterion
the
class.
Deer Hunter.
Oh, well, and I was a Goldie Hawn completist.
Yes.
So it was either Overboard or Wildcats when I had to go down.
Overboard.
And then I could I could always get a group of kids to kind of watch what I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
I was considered
You were
like,
persuasive.
the
You were
cinephile.
producing them.
I was like, you guys just don't know. Follow me.
Come on, come with me.
So
gonna watch
Goldie Hawn was
Heathers.
huge.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was huge, and Winona Ryder was huge, and
Yeah.
I felt like I knew her.
Yeah.
Sure.
Overboard. I almost had to wait. So that movie is everything.
It's seared into me. But
It's everything.
But
Yeah.
the end of First Wives Club is like this light that's refracted into 3 different beams
Yes.
among those women. And you could choose all 3 of them to model yourself after. Like, even
Yeah.
for us, it's like, I want to be all of them.
Well,
many
and
times-
your life wasn't a result of what the bad relationships that had happened to you. It was what your friendships that were gonna help you rise above and overcome.
And how interesting
it's
that
beautiful.
came back around for you.
I know, and
You know?
who knew? That
Well,
was
I do
my
believe that
until we
do
just
know.
talked about it.
We do know. It's funny. It's like someone said to me one time, like, you'll look back on your career and you'll see a through line. And so it's funny. You talk about ambition being a through line. You talk about female friendship being a through line. And to be where you're at now and know that those things have stayed consistent but also inspired people, that has to be really, 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 really special.
Yeah, and I feel lucky that I get to do it. I get to continue to do it at a really high level with really fun people is really awesome. But I had a friend say to me the other day, she said, do you feel like you were born with a finite amount of stories to tell and you've told a lot of them? And I was
Why
like,
would she say that?
whoa. She was an author, and she's probably 61 or something. And she's like, I feel like I'm kind of rewrapping every story, but it's always the same theme.
Huh.
But that's okay.
Yeah, maybe we're all here for a purpose. Like you have to find, as Oprah would say, you have to find your purpose, or what, like, do you know the themes of your storytelling lives?
It's coming into focus.
Okay.
Slowly. And for you to say that, like when would you say that it came into focus for you?
Not until I was 34, 35.
We're at that age, basically. So
It's weird that, like,
Yeah.
people pleasing starts to diminish and you start to go, oh, wait, what I've been doing is kind of good. I'm kindling, right? Like, I've had one success and it's building on another. And now it's time for me to slip into a leadership role and and you'll start to see, I mean, you're probably already seeing this. People are looking at you and going, what do you want to do? Instead of going, can you please cast me, or can you please put me in X, Y? And so you have to spend that good, look at me like life coaching your hair.
I know, I
But-
feel something.
Well,
You're
I feel
imparting
really
something.
strongly like you guys are super creative, and it's important that when you figure that out for yourself, your life opens up in a beautiful way. And you start to go on a different path where it's like, okay, I'm only going to follow those threads that serve my real purpose and let people into my life that are helping that purpose.
It's funny when
You know
that
what I'm saying?
comes
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
because it's like, I feel like when I was younger, growing up, like, and I had that moment where I was watching the Oscars, and I think I was 8 years old. We always talk about that Titanic Oscar, as we call it, 97, 98. That was the moment where I looked in the screen and I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be with them. And then you get in the industry and you understand more about it and you work and you get the awards thing and you maybe even get to a point like you where you win the Oscar. And yet it's not like you hit the jackpot and won the game and now the rest of your life is roses. You still had struggles after that Oscar in terms of being taken seriously as a producer. That must have been something that you really felt like, I've won an Oscar and yet still, you know what I mean?
And you hear that over and over and over again.
That there's a curse?
That there's like, what are they going to open a magic, vault full with the great scripts that they've been waiting to give you? No, it's not. It's actually, it's an opportunity to start creating your own.
Right.
But I didn't understand that. And it took me 4 years to figure it out.
Yeah. Because you're thinking after you win the Oscar for Walk the Line,
it's going to get easier.
Yeah, you think it's going to get easier. They're going to, all of a sudden, I'm going to be where, so-and-so is. And then all of a sudden you say, wait, who am I talking about as so-and-so? Because we're all here, women in Hollywood, even at this level. And it's not like there's like this abundance.
Right. And it's, exactly. You nailed it. And there is an Oscar curse, I think. I think it's real.
It feels like there might be.
Feels like there might be.
I mean, I think there's empirical data at this point for data people.
Yeah, for data people.
For the data people, not the people who
Yeah.
But it's interesting it's interesting what ultimately does give you that satisfaction and purpose.
Right.
It's like, of course, winning the Oscar probably felt incredible. Like, I would love to win one, but you know that it's about what you can provide to people and what you can like be a part of that really affects change. Probably someone coming up to you that watched Big Little Lies and said, I felt empowered to say something. Or I asked my friend if they were okay. Or I made sure that I just hang out with my female friends more as a result of watching that. That probably can give you something that an Oscar never could.
Oh my God. Morning show, people talking about I was harassed in my workplace and I didn't have a voice, and you illuminated in the show, and now everybody at work is behaving differently.
Yeah.
So a lot of the way our amazing friends who work in the corporate world have to walk through a lot of sublimation and humiliation, or just, it has radically changed in the past 7 years. And with reporting structures and harassment is actually like, that's not flirting. That's actually like, leave me the F alone. I'm not interested.
And even the jokes about like, can you believe we can't do this, are now met with like, oh, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, I've been, how many times, like, when you get cast on a new project, you have like the sexual harassment training, and it's the people who are like, I can't believe this. When I was on 15 years ago, it's like, okay, dude.
Okay,
right,
like, listen
stop.
to yourself.
Like,
I've had people roll their eyes during it, and it was usually people who were harassing people.
Exactly. It's like, what? I can't tell you I like your shirt. It's like, no, you can tell me you like my shirt, and you know the difference.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you're stunting on this right now is inappropriate. But then that's when you remember people who just want attention.
But I think morning show is great too, because we get to watch things shift, right? So we were there during Me Too. We were talking about workplace harassment, but now we're here talking about the manoverse and the rise of the male podcaster having massive influence.
Yeah.
Perfect casting,
media.
by the way.
Perfect
Wasn't he
casting.
great?
We love him.
Boyd Holbrook is
Boyd Holbrook.
amazing, and he has, this ease and charm about him, but he's also kind of a good old boy.
It works for that character too, because
And so I think it's great that we can talk about journalism in this way that, we're not attacking anybody, but we're just sort of illuminating how disturbing it is that people are getting their news sources from people who are maybe not experts in the things they're talking about.
Well, that's one of the biggest problems I have with, in our podcasting community, when suddenly a lifestyle podcast or a comedy podcast host thinks that they can have a politician on their show and have a real conversation with them. I just don't think it's something that we should be doing.
We're not qualified necessarily to do that. Like,
well, I think it's smart to say that,
During the election, we were pitched Democratic politicians to come on here.
Presidential
candidates. And we had to pass because I was like, I think then I would have to, and Bowen would have to follow up with some topics, and like, I don't know if you want this person on our show.
Right.
Like, or I don't know if you want, like, I don't know if it's best for us to do this. It's
Also, good to trust your instincts because, again, what is your purpose here? Are you here to
Right.
break political news?
No, we should make people happy.
Guys, you make people happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like having your own award show.
Exactly.
Which was genius!
You watched it!
You guys, come on.
You're invited
Where did you
any
come
year.
up with that?
We just sort of try to make each other laugh, and if we do
all
it,
it
we
is.
just follow that.
And did you tell people, like guests, that they had to come on to accept their awards?
Well,
or did they just
so
want to?
So peek behind the curtain. It was our amazing team to help us.
You're
and an
so
amazing
proud
team.
of yourself. You're like,
No,
I can't believe you watched it.
I can't believe you watched it.
I can't believe you
And
watched
then,
that
like,
That was so
bullshit.
fun.
repeated some clips that were very funny.
Oh,
you.
You're invited any year.
Well, here's the thing:
Yeah.
is like I literally was thinking, I was like, when we were talking about who should do the show, I was like, no, the first time we meet Reese has to be like this, and then we're gonna open the box.
Yeah. But anyway, it's there. But no, we like. Look, it was a lot of work because it was just the two of us plus two writers, which is very understaffed in terms of award shows.
It was
We
hard.
wrote all the presenter copy, all the speeches, because everyone was like, we don't know what this is yet because it hadn't
the
been
tone.
televised.
They don't know the tone.
So we had to write all the speeches. We did everything.
How long did that take you guys?
A couple months. And
Okay.
the really challenging part was that moment, and this is why like it's great to talk to you, is because then you suddenly have to be like, oh, I'm snapping into being talent now, and now we have to learn
Lines.
Abracadabra by Lady Gaga.
We have to learn a
Oh
dance.
my god.
The dance, and that's when I finally was like, I have an anxiety problem, and I'm getting on propranolol.
Okay.
Because this abracadabra dance almost took me out, and you know it's
did
true.
it. I'm so proud of you.
did
Can
it.
we talk about our relationship to anxiety and like
Yes.
Can
let's
we
go.
because I want to hear tools that you've learned and what I've learned, and it's real.
You talk
Yeah.
about this.
I'm a high anxiety person.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so I'm actually really happy to hear you say that, because sometimes I think when someone talks about themselves as ambitious, and I identify with that, it's sort of what people don't say is the amount of anxiety that sometimes can be driving that ambition or accompanying that ambition. So even just to hear you label it as your ambition being a symptom, or how do you think of it?
I mean, anxiety manifests like itself. Depression looks like anxiety sometimes too, so it can be really highly performance based. Like you have to perform, you have to show up,
Right.
which is a lot of my anxiety. So I used to have panic attacks, bad panic attacks, like crying, and I tried meditation. It's hard
Doesn't
for me to
work.
listen.
Yeah.
I also have like some ADD stuff, so I can't listen to stuff for very long. Honestly, this sounds so crazy, but I worked with a hypnotist who also did, and no medicine. I took medicine. Sometimes I'd have to take Ativan to calm down, and then it would make me feel like a zombie.
Right.
And then I wasn't
And
performing.
that's depressing.
That's depressing, and I wasn't performing at the level I wanted to, and I wasn't as funny. But by the way, P.S. If you need medicine, please take the medicine.
Of course.
And
Don't
this
be
is
a
all
hero.
very individual.
Don't be a hero. Yes,
Yeah.
and it's I'm not a doctor. Do I need to put that little ding? I'm not a doctor. But I started doing some work about with a hypnotist, and she actually works with this thing called neuro-linguistic programming. So it's called NLP, and she helped me realize that I was going to get to the same result, but I could get rid of all the anxiety in the middle.
When was that?
I was 34.
34.
34 is like
That's
this
so fun.
magic.
Well,
Yeah.
time for
we're
me.
35, and
Yeah.
so this was. I think I've. Well, how long we've been now like engaging with this in a real way for like what, 2 years, a year each.
Yeah, sure.
So, always thinking like, what if I dull myself, or you know what I mean? Lots of our friends with mental health
Oh, for
stuff
sure.
are like, I don't
and
want to
sometimes
lose
I drink
the
too
thing.
much, or
Right.
drink at
Yeah.
an event, and then I was like, why am I doing this? I don't feel good. Or I take an Ativan and I was sleepy, or so that actually changed my whole life. And
Yeah.
I want people to know anxiety is real. And when I see
Yeah.
girls going through it or guys going through it and they post videos and I'm like, want to hug them. Makes me want to cry, because it's very real and you're not alone, and you can calm yourself down.
Yeah.
There's tools to calm yourself down.
I mean, there is no like magic single solution. I think it is just you finding like on an individualized level, like the matrix of things that can help you through. I don't know.
But the cornerstone of that work
Yeah.
is understanding that you're going to perform at the same level,
Yeah.
whether you're stressed about it or not stressed about it.
Yeah.
So decide to take the stress out.
Yeah.
And she does a lot of exercises where you talk to yourself after you've completed the task. You've done this show. You're walking backstage. You guys are like you're reviewing and you're happy. And so you kind of just tell yourself ahead of time, we're going to get there. The way I process it is actually who I am and how I show up as a leader.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the cognitive script that you have to undo, which is I'm sure the work that you did, is to go, but no, I mean the way that I do it, even if I like the anxiety and the stress is just the way through. That's the journey. Like at what point do you believe that to be true, that like you don't need all the stuff in the middle, that you will perform at the same level?
When you can let the compliments in.
You hear that?
My big issue.
But just sit down at the end of the night, maybe even like just circle certain texts or take a screenshot and like give yourself a moment and let it in.
Yeah.
Because you really are that talented. And you really, really deserve where you're at. But even if it's just quiet and private to you.
Totally.
You know?
One last thing before we move on. I don't think so, honey. And what I've always wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Yeah. What I've always wanted to ask you,
Yes,
and
please.
we kind of maybe brought up earlier with the book club, it's like people assumed that like you have the first look at everything, right? That must be a frustrating thing, and that is probably two things. One's the underestimation that we've talked about, which is another through line with the ambition. The other is people projecting things onto you, Reese Witherspoon, this accomplished, high-functioning, beautiful, charming decorated person.
You know.
But then at what point does that like work against things? Like at a certain point, I go, wait, no, that's not everything there is about me.
You mean that people assume things about me? I don't know what they assume about me. I don't know.
Probably.
It's
really
like
don't
the book
know.
club. It's like the book club, though. It's like, well, she must get first. It's like they just assume that you have these things at your fingertips when you have to work hard for them.
Yeah. I think like the joke is out about me that I work really hard. No,
Right.
I don't know if people assume like things that. What really gets my goat is people assuming things about my friends or women who are in the spotlight. Drives me up a wall that you think you understand someone's emotional experience when you have never met them.
Yes.
And you project things on them. Like sometimes I'll get on my comments about people in my life who've had kids and people in my life who haven't had kids. And there's a massive judgment there on either side, right? And it's just not cool.
Yeah.
We need to not do that to each other.
No.
Agreed.
And don't assume that people don't have any consciousness about children, even if they haven't given birth to them out of their body.
Of course.
Right.
You know, that really bugs me.
Oh, this whole conversation that's like
But this
suddenly
is a very, I mean, I thought I was coming in to do, I don't think so, honey, about something very light.
What? No. Well, no,
we'll get
we'll
that
move into the
opportunity.
later. Remember when you said before we got into I don't think so, honey, I have one more thing? You fucked up because I have one more thing. Now, don't
Jeez.
think that you're going to come on Las Culturistas, the podcast, and we're not going to at least bring up Big Little Lies Season 3.
Okay.
All right, so as you go, okay, I look down. I just feel like we do need it, and I would like to ask in a real way about like how much brain space it takes up for you on the day to day, and like what are we thinking about? What are we talking about?
I mean, the idea of it is so exciting to me. And then this is where my anxiety and perfectionism and ambition comes in.
Yeah, for sure. And
It
I don't want to
has
do that to
be
you.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, of
Excellent.
course it does.
So I'm not going to give it to you guys
But you
until
know it will
is
be.
crisp
Got
Can
it.
I say
and
the
perfect.
the no the be- and I like you're just one of my like number ones, and like so I will say Big Little Lies season 1 episode 6. The scene with you and Catherine Newton where she's out on the hammock and you're going over to her to confront her about the fact that she's going to like sell her virginity on the internet. And when you tell her your secret about the fact that you had stepped out on Adam Scott, that to me was just like, that was like Reese. That scene was like, there was so much fire and there was spirit and there was vulnerability and that there was all this like, I just think that character is like the character that you were like born to play after all of them. And you've brought so much to life in these different ways, but I feel like Madeline Martha McKenzie is like, that's like the one. And I just hope that in season 3, she tears it up.
Thank you.
That's what I'm going to say.
I hope so.
That Big Little Lies, that's Madeline's show.
Well, I'm going to pick your brain for cool set pieces too, because I think what's important too is, yes, you get all the wonderful inner personal dynamics and you get all the friendships and all the great women, but we really live for our set pieces too.
Oh yeah.
Oh God,
Whether
yeah.
it's the trivia night where we all dress like Audrey Hepburn, or we had a disco
that was
party for Rena's girlfriend,
iconic.
daughter.
Yeah.
So those are really important to me too, and like it all has to cook into this beautiful, delicious meal.
Stew,
And
yeah.
it has to be perfect.
I mean, they do such an amazing job. Y'all do such an amazing job at picking those places too. I remember that you guys went to go get coffee at a place one time. This is when you have this scene with Meryl and she reads you for being short. Like, I just like this outdoor coffee spot where you ordered an Americano. I was like, oh, I want to go order an Americano at that place. Like, I was influenced.
Yeah.
I love everything about that show.
The fact that the show was so yummy that Meryl was like, yes,
I
please.
wanna do it.
She was like Tracy Flick. She was like, me next.
You brought Meryl to TV.
Oh,
You
Well
did.
done.
Nicole did. She called Nicole and she was like, I got to be on your show. And that was it.
It's both
and
of
that's
you.
how the
So
legends
you and
got
Nicole.
together.
So I would imagine
Nicole and Meryl.
you said something one time. I think it was when you were giving a tribute to Nicole, where you were talking about how like Nicole calls and she's like, "You've got to understand."
Don't understand.
There's an actor.
There's this director. She's amazing. We must get her. Then she does say stuff like, Reese, we must go on a girls' trip. I have to have a tequila. We have to. We must.
Oh,
And she really does.
yeah.
She really does.
She needs to have a tequila.
And she is. She's like, Reese, you and I, we're the property girlies. We love to buy property.
Well, please.
She's totally right.
Two
She's
of the
absolutely
great
right.
Vogue 73 questions, by the way.
We
so
also,
yours
like,
and
if
hers.
you have real estate questions, call us.
Did
We
you
will have
really
them.
do that backflip on that trampoline in the?
Yes.
And that was
That was
really
you?
Because for a second I was like, did they
Body
edit
double.
this?
In Vogue? Like
Yes.
the
On
Vogue
the
23,
trampoline.
73
Yes.
questions?
You did
Yeah,
that
that was me.
backflip.
Yeah, I was a gymnast when I was a little. I was a diver and a gymnast.
You were a diver and a
Traps.
gymnast.
Wow.
You were flying through the
And traps.
skies.
I was taking big risks. And
What was your
a very
event?
small stature, very big risks.
What was your
Yes.
event in gymnastics? Were you an uneven bars queen?
I was more floor beam.
Beam.
It was so
Hard.
scary.
All the short queens love beam. Because, low center of gravity.
Low center of gravity.
My sister was too tall to be doing gymnastics, and we would just be white knuckling into the seats like
Oh,
this
no.
girl's going down.
You're like just legs and arms and legs
Bars
and arms.
was good for her. Sorry, Charles.
Beam
But
is so
the rest of
precarious.
it.
And there's symbolism
Beam
in
is
that.
so
Okay,
precarious.
it's time for I Don't Think So, Honey.
Yes, this is I Don't Think So, Honey. It's our 60-second segment where we take a minute, which really, if you crack it down, is 60 seconds to rant and really take down something in culture that's been getting us. And I was thinking earlier about, like, how you see the threads in your work. This kind of feeds into what I'm saying.
This is exciting.
Okay.
Okay, this is Matt Rogers. I Don't Think So, Honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. People telling me I can't say y'all. I can say y'all, even though I'm from Long Island, New York.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
all is a catch-all. Because I'll tell you what I'm not doing, folks. I'm not doing folks. I can say you all, you guys, like, of course, you guys is like, it lives inside me.
Right.
But I can say y'all. You know who else says y'all? Bowen Yang.
Every now and then.
Also, don't come for me for code switching, okay? Like,
30
code
seconds.
switching is how I survived. It is the theme in my work thus far. I'm sure it will remain.
Wow.
It's true. Code switching for professional survival and social survival. And y'all can relax.
15 seconds.
Because I am not going to stop saying it. Probably because also Kelly Clarkson is one of my formative cultures at the age of 12.
There you go.
When she was like, y'all on
5
American
seconds.
Idol, and I did imprint on her. And Reese is here, and I've made it clear how much I love her. So y'all, I don't think so, honey.
And that's 1 minute.
Y'all's big for me.
That was so good.
Well,
Excellent.
thanks. But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all belongs to everyone.
Yeah. So even
As a
you,
Nashville queen,
as
you
as
belongs to
a
everyone.
noted
Thank you.
Nashville queen.
It
Love it.
does.
All right, so you're allowing it.
Yes, of course.
Open up the gates.
Open up the gates.
Now I just remembered Sweet Home Alabama, and when you got to the dog's grave. You know who loved that? Roger Ebert.
He did.
Roger Ebert.
I'm telling you, I'm like I have the bibliography on.
Oh my
this.
god, how do you know so much.
I love you.
Oh my god, you're amazing. You're making me feel
no,
so
you're
good.
my favorite.
The fact that you know that Roger Ebert loved that scene of me crying over my dead dog.
Sweet Home Alabama.
We're
In
studied.
his review, I remember this from when I was reading like the reviews like way back when. It was like Roger Ebert was like, I think he gave the movie like a 2.5-star review or whatever, and then he was like, but the thing is, Reese, when she gets down and she does that that speech to the dog, and I was like reading it and I was like, Mom, we have to go to the movies. We have to see Sweet Home Alabama. She's like, okay, no skin off my back.
Oh my
But
god.
no, yes, of course, y'all.
No, we're studied. The Bruiser, what's this? I'm telling you, that's a deep cut, obviously. Elwood. Speaking of, I've got my own thing.
Okay, here we go.
And I'm swinging big, and this might not go over well, but I'm gonna do it. And you are allowed to respond however you would like. Okay.
He's a chemistry major from NYU. Before we get into it, okay. This is Bowen Yang's I Don't Think So, Honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Elwood's pronouncing it ammonium thioglycolate when the pronunciation is ammonium thioglycolate. Thioglycolate. I fucked it up too. Oh
You
no!
suck. How dare you?
Unlike Elle, I was a chemistry major and I couldn't even do it, so I guess I have no fucking leg to stand on. And Elle herself, with her working knowledge, the rules of beauty are
Hair care, simple and
finite.
Any Cosmo girl would have known.
Any Cosmo girl would have known.
30 seconds.
I think for that to be the punch that threw Chutney in jail.
Love you, Linda.
Love you, Linda. Oh my God, we love Linda in this house. I think the impact would have been even greater. I think it has thrown
15.
industrial chemists in disarray since the year 2000 because they have not known how to pronounce this name, that it's thrown even me off. And it really was a bump in the road of
5
my
seconds.
chemistry education, but I could never be mad at Elwoods. I could never be mad at Reese. It's one of the best movies of all time.
And that's 1
1
minute.
I'm so
Amazing.
sorry. I fucked it up. But see,
No, I'm glad.
ammonium thioglycolate lives in my head forever. Now it's how it's pronounced.
At the risk
mean,
of
you
deactivating
changed
the ammonium
chemistry.
thioglycolate.
I mean, was it a topic? Like, did you guys talk about it?
We did not talk about it, but it's like you must understand that it did confuse the community. It's like, how do we pronounce this chemical, this molecule?
Right. I mean, you were influenced, and
I
you
was
thought that I
influenced.
was correct.
25 years later.
But you know, Elle Woods is a fashion and merchandise major. She's
Yeah,
not.
she-
She's not.
Oh,
And
I have a 4.0.
Yeah.
Wait, but I want you to know also, did you know they show at NYU? I went to dramatic writing school at Tisch at NYU. They show the opening sequence of Legally Blonde to show how to establish tone.
Of the letter being passed.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
No, I
it's-
had no idea.
There's like a whole scene and like just of the girl riding in the bike, and it gets, Bruiser, what's this? And then you open it up. They show that whole thing,
They
and we
do.
did a whole day about how like that is a perfect way to establish the tone of a movie and get the audience ready for what's to come.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think that's so great.
Yeah.
And I can't even watch the beginning of the movie because they replaced my hands with somebody else's hands, and I can't look at it. And that's just my little inside scoop.
100%
Because
understand.
I need to this isn't my things. I don't think so, honey, but it was like hand doubles that don't look like the human.
No.
Like I can't.
No.
I spend a lot of time picking feet doubles. And
You gotta
Oh
audition
my
the feet and
God.
hand doubles.
I also can't. How are
really
you?
throw me.
How are
Yeah.
you with ADR? Whenever I see something that's even a little bit
Excellent.
ADR. Oh no, I mean like you're good at it. But when I'm watching it and like I can tell something is ADR, I'm like I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, that's hard.
I think we're pretty good at it.
I just did some, and
For Palm Royale.
I wasn't even supposed to say that I'm on it, but I did.
Scoop-
Sorry,
scoops
guys.
out.
This comes out in a little, people are excited.
I know.
excited.
They were like, well, we want to
That
keep it a
show-
surprise. I love it.
So good.
And
So
doing
good.
it was so. I'll show you a picture of my
Yeah,
costume.
please.
It was so. Oh my god, they're gonna be mad. But it was so like rich. I was like, wow, to be on a set that like
period
has
set.
a budget. I was like, this is crazy.
Did you know the costume designer is the same person as Big Little Lies?
Okay, I was gagging for the costume designer. She didn't say that though.
Yeah.
Oh my
She's
god.
amazing. But she's amazing. She's helped, like Laura Dern and she work really close together
Yes,
for
love
years
it.
and years.
I'll tell you after.
So, and I mean, the looks.
The
Looks for days. Looks for years. For
That was one of
years.
those shows too, where it's like they're gonna do a measurement fitting, and I was like, okay, cool. I think I'm going in for a fitting. Every part
single-
of your
Yes.
The
body.
groin, the
Everything. I was like,
Right
oh my
ear,
god! And
left
then I was
ear.
wearing a fully a speedo in the whole thing. So I was just like, okay, I don't know if we needed this. They're like, they're gonna make.
Did they get
this
your
suit.
glove size?
Got everything. I just hit them up
Shit.
again. I was like, I need those measurements for
Do
something.
you know your glove size now?
I don't think I do.
Not off the top of the dome.
Not off the dome. I'm a 15 neck. All right. Anyway,
Reese, we gotta get you out of here. You got a
we gotta
busy
get you out of here
day.
because you have to do I Don't Think So, Honey, and this is gonna be iconic.
Do I really?
You have to. You'd be the first person ever to not do one.
And that could be iconic. You could innovate
No,
that
she's
space
gonna
too.
do one. Don't put that thought in her head.
Okay.
She have something.
She's got something.
What? I mean, are you kidding me? All
You
I
have
have
all
is
the
topics.
things.
I'm
Of
just
course.
like, which ones do I share with you guys?
Oh yeah. Well, on the mic.
Ready?
I'm picking what's right for today.
Okay.
Pick
I have
what's right for
topics.
today.
Well, because like what's on my mind is when I came in, there's like somebody that came up to me at a party and was like said something terrible to my friend. And I'm like, now you're gonna ask me
Let's
like
go.
a question. We're gonna be friends.
Let's go.
Let's go. This is Reese.
No.
You know
But then like what I also want to talk about is like people who bring smelly food on like the trains and like
Do that.
on the
Do that.
airplane and
Do
like,
that.
Oh, okay.
Or and if you feel 30
Okay.
seconds.
Also, I have another thing, which is like standing in line for a cinnamon roll. Like, why are we doing this with our lives?
I think cinnamon roll.
do cinnamon roll.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do this and know the form is yours to break.
Okay.
If 30 seconds in you want to talk shit about your friend, do that.
It's up to you.
Okay, here we go.
This is Reese Witherspoon's I
Get
Don't Think
into
So,
it.
Honey. Her time starts now.
Okay, I don't know why people do this, but like, why do you stand in line for like a cinnamon roll you saw on TikTok? Or like
better.
what? Like a special food or something? Like you should touch grass.
You should
or
touch grass.
You should read a book.
Oh!
Like, you know, and I have friends who will spend all day searching TikTok as like a search tool for places to take a picture, places to eat special foods, and they will stand in line for hours and hours and hours and hours for sourdough bread. And I just can't.
right now.
30
I just
seconds.
can't.
Is it they want to stand in line secretly, but they don't want to tell people?
No one ever wanted to stand in line ever for
No.
anything ever, and especially not a baked good. Like, no. Like, sometimes I get it about, like, those beautiful drinks that have, the frosty meringue tops. Like, that's cute, and it's going to
Yeah.
look cute on your feed. Cinnamon rolls are not cute in pictures. I don't want to see it, and I really don't want to hear about it.
5 seconds.
Okay, I don't like that. I also won't stand in line for lip gloss. The end.
And that's
Oh!
1 minute.
Yeah, that does feel like something that is not in my culture because it's never had to be. But lip gloss,
It's
y'all
lip
have to be
gloss.
standing in line.
Get a grip.
What's worth standing in line for?
Ooh. Okay, a really amazing once in a lifetime live performance.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody you are really moved by.
What's your favorite concert you've ever seen?
Well, the thing that's coming to mind is, oh my God. I
Come
mean,
on.
so many things. Well, Gwen Stefani when I was 12.
Yeah.
Or no, I wasn't. I was like 20 when she came. What am I talking
We were
about?
young. We were
I saw her
young.
in Minnesota. I was making a movie with Paul Rudd. It was called Overnight Delivery. It's a terrible, 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 terrible movie. We had the best time. Sarah Silverman had one line in the whole movie. She was hysterically funny.
course.
That's when we made friends. And it was just a time. And then we were in Minnesota, and it was the beginning of ska and girl punk and just all the rising talent, and it was really fun. And I went and saw Gwen Stefani in a tiny, tiny theater.
Love it.
And it was cool. And she was
Last
just a girl,
year-
but she really wasn't.
She wasn't just a girl.
She did Coachella last year, and it felt like, and it was No Doubt. So it did feel like we were back. It was just
a good
it
time.
was
The way
so
she was
fun.
like, I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
In the world. I mean,
Yeah.
it was every feeling I ever
Yep.
had.
Yeah, she was a total beast.
That is a total beast.
She contained multitudes.
Yeah.
Truly. Like
And
all
in
of
a
us.
crop top.
Yeah, of course.
Ugh.
And a strong red lip.
Oh, always. And the
Blue
and
hair
this.
and the
And that, and the
ponytail.
pony. And I just can't.
No,
it was
brand
just
new.
all.
And also, what blew my mind was realizing she was having to bleach her hair all the time, and she still has it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
weird. That's a mystery.
I had a bleach blonde moment all of last year, and
The
I
hair
don't
was
think it
falling
would have
out.
gone
The hair
that
falls
way.
out.
It-
She's burnt.
so I don't know how she's doing it. But it's
Nutrafol.
still to this day.
Nutrafol.
our sponsor.
Our sponsor.
I don't think she uses that. Well, listen. This has been so
Sublime.
much fun.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
And I feel
I'm
like
so glad we finally did this.
I
so
know.
glad.
And like trust me, when he
and I had to chase you down. It's just for the record, I chased you guys out.
Listen,
No, you did not.
it was not. You did not need to convince us. It was the easiest yes. I FaceTimed this one the second you parted ways.
We just
from me.
never think someone as cool and
Truly.
talented and busy as you is going to come spend time with us. And so we are so happy that you did, because we have to tell you, morning show is like, it's one of those things where it's one of the only things I get like super excited to wake up. I'm like, oh, there's a new one. And now that we
Yeah,
have
they'll
all
see
them
then.
to binge, sorry, y'all don't. But we'll still be keeping updated, and it's just as much fun as it is every year. And
if I only came on this podcast for one reason, it was to watch you guys connect morning show, the new iPhone, Taylor Swift's album, and The Color of Orange.
well, that all happened
I
off
can't.
mic, but we did get it right.
And
okay,
then-
we got all of it.
And then you hitting it with the iconic, whoever said orange is the new pink was seriously disturbed. I mean,
I saw Cameron
Game
Diaz
over.
wearing
Game
a
over.
truly heinous Angora sweater.
Fred Siegel the other day,
Fred
I talked
Siegel?
her out of buying the most truly heinous
Angora
Angora sweater.
Okay, well, maybe you have to come back and we have
You
to
gotta
talk
come
more
back,
about
Reese.
all
We gotta
these
jam out
things.
more. This is Reese
Love
Witherspoon.
y'all.
Morning Show Season 4 is out now. We love you. Thank you. We end every episode with the song.
What's it gonna be? Should we
Sun's
do
out a little after 12. Make breakfast for myself. Leave the work for someone else.
If you want to hear the rest of that, do yourself a favor and be like a film student and watch the first sequence and then the whole film of
Legally Blonde. Goodbye. Las Culturistas is a production by Will Ferrell's Big Money Players and iHeartRadio podcasts.
created and hosted by Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang. Executive produced by Anna Hosnier and Hans Sani.
Produced by Becca Ramos. Edited and mixed by Doug Babe and Monique Laborde.
And our music is by Henry Kaburski.